What is your American dream?
I was born in New York. My American dream is music, and DJing is the one thing that I love.
My family's from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in the Bronx. My American dream is to achieve success and prosperity through my hard work.
I am from India. I do hope that each one of us realize our own humanity and start helping each other succeed. We are all humanity, and that's the least we should be able to do.
I am from Poland. My American dreams be close to my kids and my grandkids, be happy, enjoy daily life. My dreams are very humble.
I'm from Suriname, South America. My American dream is to take advantage of opportunities to excel at my talents.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Brad Show Live. It is Monday, August 30th. We are coming into the last week of the unofficial summer, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Is this the last week?
This is the last week of the unofficial summer. I mean, summer doesn't really end until like
September 21st or something?
Yeah, something like the solstice, whatever. But the unofficial is Labor Day weekend, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, I mean, I guess one could say that's when like the beaches start to close up north.
I didn't know that. That was like the unofficial.
This is the unofficial end of the summer this week.
Wow.
Yes. And what are we doing? We're all working.
All working. We should be on someone's beach.
We should be on vacation like everybody in Europe. Everybody in Europe takes vacation in August. I don't know why Americans don't do that.
Huh.
I mean, we take vacation, but not a full month like they do.
They do a whole month?
There's nobody in the city in Europe in the summer.
Wow.
They're all somewhere else.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can learn from that.
We need to learn from that. We need to learn from that. How was your weekend, Vanessa?
I had a great weekend.
Yes?
I just stayed home, took it easy,
Oh, nice.
caught up on work.
Taking it easy. And Yo-Yo, who never takes it easy.
Never takes it
He
easy.
had the anti-Nesquik.
Yeah, right.
weekend.
The anti-Nesquik.
Yeah.
I was in the DC.
I saw on Instagram that you thought you were going on a 15-minute car ride, and then 8 hours later you were still in the car.
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes, it was something like
I
that.
didn't ask you what you did, though. but
I ended up going to a theme park.
Okay. Did you think
Right.
the theme park was going to be closer?
Yes.
Yeah, I found that weird. I'm like, wait, he's in DC, but wait, then he's over here. Where is he?
Oh, I got back today. I literally got off the Amtrak and came to the studio.
Well, I texted Vanessa. I texted Jonathan, and I said we should start a new book. Like, where's Yo-Yo?
Yeah,
It's like,
I was
where's
laughing.
Waldo? He's in a different spot every hour.
I'm gonna be actually with Nesquik this weekend.
Oh, you're going down to Miami.
Miami.
All right.
So
I
I'll be
like that.
seeing y'all.
I like that. Let's say hello to the squad and see what they're up to. Pretty Chef Ferreira, squad up. Carol the Tiger, squad up. Tanya Love, bless up. Pamela Laird, Terry Faith, Top DeMar. But Top DeMar has a lot of like accents on top of his letters of his
Yeah.
name. I'm not good with accents. So I'm just going to call him Top DeMar.
Del Mar.
DeMar. Michelle Lim, squad up. Dion Reed, I think I said Dion Reed. Cindy Rampersort, squad up. Nezzy wants more. Well, you got more. We got 2 hours
Right.
of Brad Show Live. Sisha Mitchell, how are you? Day Jose. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Amaka Chime saying, hey, Susie Q, Denise Johnson, Oli Yimi, Abimbola. Welcome the great team of Super Squad.
Who?
Super Squad.
Super Squad.
I like that.
I like that. The Super Squad.
The Super Squad. You know, there's,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's like a higher level of Brad Squad.
Yeah.
All right, there's Brad Squad, and then you got Super Squad.
Squad.
I like Super Squad.
Yeah.
That sounds much better.
Yeah, that's something that we should all aim to be.
Maybe
part
we
of the
should. Yeah,
Super
maybe we
Squad.
should get everybody into the Super Squad.
Ooh, we need to find out how to do that.
We don't know yet. I got to ask Julie how to do that.
Yeah.
All right, Shan saying, hey, Brad Squad family, and God is merciful, squad up. And Amanat Ali saying, hi, I applied for VAWA November 2019. How long does it take to get approved? They're taking about 3 years, so 2020, 2021, probably you're not going to hear till well into 2022, unfortunately for you.
Did you say Jessica Leamy?
I did not.
Okay, because she is in the comments.
I did not see her at all.
Brad really skipped my name.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose, Jessica Leamy. I didn't see you there. Sasha Johnson, Latoya Laddie. I didn't skip you either. I'm just seeing you now. And
Share.
And Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says the Super Squad sounds cool.
It does.
It does. I like how it rolls off my tongue.
I was just about to say that it rolls off my tongue.
I feel like Carol would be someone we would find in a super squatter.
I think so too.
I do as well.
Who named it Super Squad? Now I gotta go
Right,
back and
look.
gotta figure out.
Y'all
who
better
did this.
copyright that
Yeah,
now.
only Yabi Abimbola who
Thanks.
came up with Super Squad.
There we go.
There you go. All right, Yo-Yo Vanessa, take it away.
Absolutely. All right, squad, welcome. Happy Monday. I hope that you guys had an amazing weekend. Let's start off the week with sharing, all right? We need you guys to share all across all platforms because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including the devastation caused by Hurricane Ida in the southern U.S. and the U.S. occupation of Afghanistan has officially ended.
And it's Monday, squad, so time for some warm and fuzzy stories about our furry friends to start our week off with a smile, including a four-eyed cat who is teaching children and parents alike about healthy eyes.
Four-eyed cat.
That's a super cool cat.
That's a
right
Super
there.
Squad cat.
That was a super squad cat because he's rocking them glasses.
That is a cool cat.
Yeah, cool
Right?
cat.
When you say that's a cool cat, that's a cool cat. And you can also call Spar and Bernstein, 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. It is the telephone number not only to our sponsor, the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. It is also the telephone number to call to get on our show right now. We have 5 open lines still, Yo-Yo.
All right.
10 are taken already. Ooh. 5 to go. So if you call right now, you can still get in on the show and speak to me in about 20 minutes or so?
Yeah.
About 25 minutes. And then later in the show, after I take your telephone calls and we go into social media to check your issues, problems, and questions, I will be speaking with Gracie Murphree, the founder of Heart of Christ Ministries in Honduras. And she runs the first Special Victims Unit program for the country and works with authorities to help women and children escape violent circumstances and to prosecute their abusers.
Oh.
Yes. And right now, I think we're ready for some schmoozing, right?
Yeah, let's schmooze.
Let's do it.
Carol Anderson, the Tiger.
What she said. What did she say? Cool cat for real.
Trying to take your name, Carol Anderson, the Tiger.
All right. So poor people in New Orleans, Hurricane Ida. I had to make sure I got that name right.
Yes.
Ida made landfall yesterday near southeastern Louisiana's Port Fourchon. It's a Category 4. It is the strongest hurricane since Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans back in 2005. About 15 people were already helped off of roofs onto boats early Monday in the city of Slidell alone, and rescuers in high water vehicles still were taking people to safety in the lower side of town. A lot of that area is below sea level, you know, and so when you get these huge storms, this is unfortunately what happens. Governor John Bell Edwards urged residents to check on their neighbors, but otherwise refrain from traveling because of flooded roadways. The governor said in a video posted on Twitter, "We know that individuals are out there waiting to be rescued because their homes are not habitable. Please know that we have thousands of people out right now with high water vehicles and boats who are doing search and rescue." Now, you may remember after Katrina devastated New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans lost half their population. People moved and never came back again. They put all these engineers put in billions and billions of dollars of levees and water pumps to pump the water out from the low-lying areas. stuff that goes well beyond my imagination of how they can divert
Right.
ocean water. But they were able to do it because really from hurricanes, it's when the tides come in with high water. It's not the winds; it's the amount of water that destroys everything. Usually, you know. So they were able, supposedly, not as bad as Katrina, even though it was a similar level storm, because apparently these levees and water pumps that they put in to save New Orleans worked.
Well, and those are the pictures of
Yes.
it working.
That's the pictures of it working. Imagine if it didn't work.
Right.
Now, another 4 to 8 inches of rain is expected to fall today in parts of Louisiana, New Orleans, and Mississippi, bringing the totals somewhere between, depending on where you live down there, somewhere between 10 to 24 inches of rain. President Biden granted Mayor Edwards' request for a major disaster declaration, ordering federal agencies Sunday night to supplement state and local recovery efforts. As of 3 p.m. local time, emergency 911 service was restored in New Orleans. Excuse me, it was Governor Edwards, not Mayor Edwards. And in southern Louisiana, Hurricane Ida tore roofs and knocked out generators. Hospitals filled with thousands of COVID-19 patients amid a surge sparked by the highly contagious Delta variant. So they got Delta, and they got hurricane down there.
Jeez.
Yeah, 14 and a half. It's on the next card here. $14.5 billion system of levees and other protections.
Wow.
That helps save New Orleans. Did you get any rain in Florida? Well, you missed it completely.
It was like a drizzle, really. It wasn't like a storm. There was actually, I feel like there was more when there was talks of what you guys got north, like Henry, like when Henry.
Yeah.
Henry.
Or as we like to say in New York, Henry.
Yes.
There was way more rain around that time than there was.
Now, apparently the track of Hurricane Ida is going to make its way through the Midwest and come back northeast to New York, Washington, D.C., that whole northeast corridor. Boy, that looks like a hump day picture there. But a little bit. It's not a fuzzy Monday picture, that's for sure. I'm sorry, but that's what it looked like. I just remembered when Trump did it, you know?
Mind out the gutter, Bradford.
I'm
Get your
sorry.
mind out the gutter.
I know, but that's what it looked like to me. But nevertheless, it is heading our way, but I'm sure it will lessen in strength. Yes, of course, Julian had to put it up back there again. It'll lessen in strength by the time it hits the Northeast here, because it's not over water anymore. And finally today, General Frank McKenzie announced that the last of U.S. military planes have left Afghanistan. The United States military is now completely out of Afghanistan, and that marks the end of a fraught, chaotic, bloody exit from Afghanistan by the United States in the United States' longest war in the history of our country.
Wow.
Yes. General McKenzie told reporters, "I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens, third country nationals, and vulnerable Afghans." The last C-17 lifted off from Karzai International Airport on August 30th at 3:29 p.m. East Coast time, and the last manned aircraft is now clearing the airspace above Afghanistan. So as of today, the United States and its allies have evacuated 122,300 people from Afghanistan, including 5,400 Americans. The State Department officials said the department believes there are fewer than 250 Americans who are still staying in Afghanistan and who have told the military they don't want to leave. The United States and 97 other countries have struck a deal with the Taliban to ensure that people who need to get out can do so safely, even now U.S. troops are gone. We'll see if that happens. In 24 hours into Sunday morning, about 1,200 people were taken out of Kabul on U.S. military flights, far less than the 12,700 evacuated in a single day last year. and that
Last week.
last week, excuse me, and that ends Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was very sad, by the way. The when we were off the air,
Well, yeah,
the
the 13.
soldiers, the 13 soldiers who died. It was actually extraordinarily sad. All young people by a suicide bomber near the Kabul airport. 182 people died in total. 13 of them were American servicemen. President Biden confirmed in a speech at the White House on Thursday that the bombings were carried out by the Islamic State in Khorasan province. So it's ISKP, or also known as ISIS-K, which is an affiliate of ISIS in Afghanistan. So it's a new terrorist group, ISIS-K. They broke off from the regular ISIS and the Taliban because they didn't think that they were ruthless enough.
See, that's what I was gonna say.
So they became more.
yeah.
So ISIS-K is like ruthless ISIS. Yeah, they were. Taliban wasn't bad enough,
Right.
so they had to break away and be worse.
And remember, like, we did talk about how, like, the Taliban did say, or at least the older Taliban said that, they were going to, be working with the Afghans and, like, with the women and all that. They weren't going to be as strict, basically, right?
Right.
And now ISIS-K was like, no, we're going back.
We're going back. Right.
See, oh, man.
Yeah. So over the weekend, President Biden, in a continuing hunt for terrorists, they blew up a house. We don't know who was in that house. They claim some terrorists were in that house. We don't know. And in a statement, he said that President Biden said the 13 service members that we lost were heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of our highest American ideals. And while saving the lives of others, their bravery and selfishness has enabled more than 117,000 people at risk to reach safety thus far. It was actually, you know what they were doing is they were outside of the airport. They were patting people down.
Oh.
They were kind of like acting like TSA agents before you were able to get into the airport. So they didn't know. I mean, they were patting down hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
And they didn't know who would have a bomb on them.
And that's the scariest part. That's the
Right.
part that's really scary. Is these are suicide bombers. So it's
Right.
like, you would. It's one thing to be attacked, like have people coming in shooting or something like that. But like suicide bombers is like you can't protect yourself from that.
The officers ranged in age from 20 to 31.
Oh man.
Included a Marine from Wyoming who was expecting his first child in just a few weeks.
Gosh.
Another Marine from California who raved about her job. And 5 of the fallen service members were only 20 years old.
Jeez. That's so sad.
So it was just absolutely, absolutely sad. And what a waste of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Meanwhile, last week, 5 members of an all-girl Afghan robotics team known as the Afghan Dreamers and more than 100 media workers arrived in Mexico. Mexico gave about 100 people some sort of asylum to go to Mexico from Afghanistan. They arrived as refugees. Marcelo Ebrard, Mexico's Secretary of Foreign Relations, said we might be very far away from what is happening in Afghanistan, but the human cause, the protection of values, and the cause that makes us Mexicans have made us commit so that they can be in Mexico. Now, apparently, this was a college robotics team of all women, and they were concerned for their own lives and safety as women who were working in technology and were educated and were not following, I guess, what ISIS-K wanted them to do. So they actually helped and designed ventilators in Afghanistan for people who had COVID.
Wow.
And they designed their own ventilators because they weren't able to buy any on the market. That saved probably plenty of people. So they eventually made it to Mexico. So at least it's one nice little story there.
That is a nice story, but it's just so unfortunate that they had to leave their own home country when all they're doing is helping their people.
And on Tuesday, the Supreme Court refused to block a ruling from a federal judge in Texas requiring the Biden administration to reinstate a Trump-era immigration program that forces asylum seekers arriving at the border to wait approval in Mexico. So we're back to the old asylum system. If you come to the U.S. southern border, you're going to wait on the Mexican side of the border with some sort of metering program, the same program that Trump put in, up until the time you get called to get a interview. There's no longer going to be able to be paroled into the United States of America, at least until this court case is finalized or until Biden makes a rule that can pass muster. What else is happening? The CDC announced that since the vaccination, the Pfizer vaccine, is now authorized, the USCIS has decided that in order for you to adjust your status as of October 1st, you need to be vaccinated. But now this is only for people who are adjusting their status in the United States. It's not for people getting green cards at U.S. embassies in another country. Now, the only way out of this, if you don't want to be vaccinated, is to file a waiver, and you can file the waiver either based on moral objection or on religious objection. You can also file a waiver based on medical condition, that you have some sort of medical malady that is what's the word I'm looking for? That is contraindicative, not contra, whatever the word is, that if you take the damn vaccine, something bad's going to happen to you because you have a medical condition. And I'm getting tongue-tied on that word.
Contraindicated?
Contraindicated.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
All right.
I was saying contraindicated. Yes, okay. I was saying the right word. Contraindicated. So it's moral objection, religious objection, contraindicated. And part of being contraindicated is if you took the first shot and had a very bad reaction, and you can document it medically, then you won't have to take the second shot. But other than that, you're going to have to take the vaccine. And the million-dollar question is well, what exactly is, you have to prove moral grounds, or...
So that's what I was about to ask.
Nobody knows. What is your moral ground? I'm morally against vaccines. But what are they going to say? I don't know.
With doing that, though, do you feel like they would more than likely try harder to deny you just because it's like a morally wrong thing instead of actually a health thing? Like if it's a health thing, that's one thing. Like you actually really got sick from that and you can show that, prove that. But like when you say morally, we could all say that. Yeah. So would that kind of hinder them from, I think
if you say morally, you'll be denied.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I think you're going to have a hard time saying I'm a Christian or I'm a Jew or Muslim and I don't want to take it because I don't know anything in any of the three religions that says don't take a vaccine. And there's plenty of Christians and Muslims and Jews who have taken it. So I'm not sure what the religious, for most people, now there's Christian, I know there's a sect of Christianity that are Christian Scientists, perhaps, that do not take medication. I think they call themselves Christian Scientists, but I could be wrong. Now, you could be a member of a certain sect within Christianity or Islam or even Judaism, I don't even know what those would be, that you can demonstrate that you're part of this religious, group that nobody takes vaccines no matter what it is. Yeah. But I think you're going to have a hard time doing that.
That's what I feel like it would be a lot harder to, try and prove that.
So we'll see what happens, but I think most people are going to end up just taking the shot. You want a green card? Take the shot.
That part.
And this is my opinion. Was it 150 million people have taken it already? Most people are doing okay. We don't know what it'll do to you in 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Right?
Cecil Mitchell says Jehovah Witnesses.
Is it? But it's also another one. Also, I think Christian Scientists too. But maybe Jehovah Witnesses also don't take. They don't take vaccines. Jehovah Witnesses. I don't know that.
I don't either. I'm just reading.
All right. Meanwhile, the United States is facing a fourth wave, driven by the highly contagious Delta variant. New U.S. cases are averaging 150,000. Dr. Fauci said another 100,000 people could die of COVID in the U.S. by December. The current daily average is 155,000 new reported infections. And Europe has decided Americans can't come anymore.
Really?
Yes, we're kicked out of Europe again, as of I think the end of the week. Because our COVID cases are getting too high. October 1st. So you can go to Europe through October 1st, actually. Jill has just told me.
And after that, no?
After that, it's a no go to Europe.
That's real trifling that, we are the country that People are
Can't
like,
go.
nah, y'all can't come.
Y'all can't come. Can't come.
My gym actually just recently, on Friday, I think it was, Friday. They're you have you have to show proof that you got vaccinated. So that was something new.
Yeah, well, as of September 12th in New York City, you have to show a COVID vaccine to get into a restaurant or a theater or gym. You better take your
So they already started that
vaccination.
they started at my gym, and it was nice and empty.
Now the European Council has said, I got to make this clear, United States residents and citizens can't come into the 27 countries, but it's up to their individual countries to determine whether or not to allow Americans in. So it'll be on a country-by-country basis. They're just recommending no Americans. They're just making that recommendation. They also made that recommendation for Israel, Kosovo, Lebanon, Montenegro, and the Republic of North Macedonia. You know what I think is going to be really interesting with COVID? What happens next week with school? When school happens. You know,
They actually started this week, I think.
some schools started this week with all the mask requirements and non-mask requirements. I think that we're all asking the wrong question as it comes to COVID anyway. You know, because we're all, having arguments about, quarantine and vaccinate. And, I think we have to start asking the question, well, what is it that we actually want to happen? And then go backwards. Nobody's really asking the question with COVID. I've been thinking about this. What do we want to happen? I mean, do we want to have no infections, nobody gets sick, then we all stay home? Do we want kids to go to school? What's the most important thing? Is the most important thing for kids to go to school and not do distance learning anymore?
Yeah, distance learning is not helping.
Right. Well, then, okay, if that's the most important thing,
right,
let's figure out, instead of arguing, with masks, when I see this whole mask thing with the kids, it drives me crazy because nobody's asking the right question. The right question is, how can kids go back to school safely? And everyone's arguing, don't wear a mask, don't wear a mask. There's got to be other ways. Maybe you can do rapid tests of kids every day.
right.
Okay, maybe masks are part of the answer, maybe not. And we also have to say, well, what is it that we're willing to live with in America?
Right.
Nobody's asking that question either. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to prevent anybody from getting sick? Or are we trying to allow kids to go back to school? Are we trying to prevent people from going to the hospital? Are we trying to prevent the coronavirus from mutating to another, mutation that could get what are we trying to prevent? Nobody asks that question.
This is true.
Right? Have you ever heard that? Like, what are we actually trying to, do?
No.
I'm waiting for somebody to come and ask that question. In other words, what do we want to happen?
Right.
and then let's figure out how to make it happen. Let's as a country come to a consensus. Like, what do we want to happen? Do we want to make sure that nobody ever gets sick again? Then we're all going to sit home. Okay. There has to be, like, we want to be able to go out safely. We want to be able to send our kids to school. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if you could send your kids to school, that allows the parents to work. But kids at home, problem.
Big time.
Right. So then let's figure out how to send kids to school, but we're all arguing about masks.
This is true.
We're just asking the wrong questions.
It's just sick or not sick.
I don't hear you. You hear?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's just like, I mean, what are we trying to prevent?
Yeah.
Let's ask, like, what's the outcome we want realistically, and then let's try to figure out how to do it. Everyone's like, oh no, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. Don't you don't wear a mask, and but all right, Fuzzy Monday. Fuzzy Monday. What do we got? All right, Adam Rowe Music, waiting for my shout out. You got it, Adam Rowe. All right, Truffles, the glass-wearing cat, the cool cat, as we like to say, was first spotted a spunky and playful tiny tuxedo kitten. This is Daniel Kroll wandering behind some buildings in a church camp. And the camp had numerous stray cats, and the kitten was a stray offspring of a stray cat. And Kroll tells the Daily Pause the church camp is great about finding homes for these kittens, and all of Truffle's brothers and sisters had homes but her. So only 3 months old and likely part Maine Coon, Kroll loved her personality and knew she had to bring her home. So from the start, Truffles seemed interested in learning new things. She was quite smart and totally in love with treats. And Kroll is a master optician and owner of a child's eyes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And when Truffles was 6 months old, Kroll tried putting her in glasses. Not that she needed them. Truffles does not need the glasses
Okay, that
to
was
see.
going to be my question.
Okay,
Does she
No,
need
Truffles is just a cool cat. All right, she does not need the glasses at all.
Okay.
All right.
Prescription. I had questions.
Now, Kroll made some teaching videos with Truffles, such as how kids could take care of their glasses. But when a 3-year-old girl was shy about putting on her glasses, Kroll says Truffles became a glasses fashion model. And once Truffles had her glasses on, the young client couldn't wait to put the glasses on herself.
I
so
love that part of
they're
it.
using the cat to make children feel comfortable wearing glasses.
I like that part because,
Yeah.
you know, you get bullied, called Four Eyes and stuff like that.
But
you
not
know?
this cat.
Not
This cat's
cat.
cool.
It makes it cool.
Yeah. Now, surprised at how quickly the little girl was comforted, Kroll says Truffles is now her secret weapon to put children at ease.
Oh.
She says the kids love that Truffles has a pair of glasses just like their glasses. And once the kids are comfortable, it makes it so much easier to talk with their parents about the child's visual needs.
That's awesome.
I wonder what Carol has to say about all of this.
I know.
Carol, what do you got to say
it
about
your
all this?
cat?
Is that a cool cat, Carol?
That's
Now, when one youngster found out that Truffles was raising money for Children's Miracle Network, she even went so far as to start a lemonade stand and donate some of the profits to Truffles' efforts. So Truffle has become a little bit of a celebrity there.
I see.
Yes. Now,
Well deserved.
Now, this is kind of funny too. An animal shelter in Germany is using Tinder to help pets find their perfect match. Yes, anyone who's used Tinder before knows the value of a cute animal picture in a profile. One very creative animal shelter based in Munich took this idea and ran with it by creating Tinder profiles for pets ready to be adopted.
That
so
is
you're sitting there
hilarious.
swiping for your man, swiping for your woman, and you come across this cute little furry pet, and you're like, you know what? I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. I need this pet. And then when they match with the pet, they make a date for the person to come in and have a date with the pet to see if they want to be adopted.
So is this like
This
for
is
real?
on
Like
Tinder.
This is on Tinder.
On Tinder.
It's not a special app.
No,
for it.
this is on Tinder.
Wow.
They made a Tinder profile of all the animals in the animal shelter. And then as people are swiping, they're like, oh, cute dog. Yes. And then the animal shelter matches with them and says, would you like to have a date with with this dog?
Aw.
And then if they make a date with the dog and they like the dog, they adopt the dog. So instead of getting,
Wow.
you know,
I love this picture. That picture.
instead of getting, you know, the one you love as a man or a woman, you get the one you
Yeah.
love as a dog.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because you want to make sure that because you know a lot of people pets are their children, you know. So if you're bringing a new one in, like my best friend he has 3 pits and he
Right.
just bought a golden doodle and wanted to make sure that they all coexist and they love each other. I was wondering if it was like an app for them to like mate, you know.
No.
Like,
Can you imagine, like, you go to your friend, you're like, oh, I just met this dog on Tinder. Don't be rude about the person you're going out with. No, it was really a dog, you know.
Beat me to it, Brad. That was my joke.
I stole your joke. I'm
and I saw her like she was ready.
I was waiting to catch my break.
Damn.
All right, so they have launched since August 8th, and they have made dates, and they've almost cleared out their entire animal shelter.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Check that out. That's awesome.
Now, I was told about mini horses, and I said they were fake,
Oh.
but apparently mini horses are real. Okay, there is such a thing as a tiny mini horse, And there he
Whoa.
is. And he was abandoned by his mother because he was too tiny.
Really?
Yeah, he was too tiny, and the horse said, "Yo, get out of here, you little punk." And the little mini horse now lives inside somebody's house.
Look at that.
Can you imagine this horse
It's like
lives
the size
in somebody's
of that,
house?
It's the size of that pug.
Yeah.
And pugs are small.
Isn't that like the cutest thing you've ever seen? Wouldn't you want like a mini horse like that?
Yeah.
Everybody would want a mini horse like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I would actually love that.
It is the smallest horse in the world.
I love horses.
It is the smallest horse in the world, standing only 16 inches tall.
Wow.
He was born on May 7th, 2021. And his owner, Faith Smith, a miniature horse trainer from San Diego, California, told a local station that Peabody is the smallest horse in the world at his age. Now, I wonder how big he's going to get. But that's very cute that you have this
Yeah.
tiny little
Look at
horse.
him.
I see. Somebody was showing me this video. I'm like, that's not a real horse.
Because it looks fake.
It looks fake,
but
right?
when you see it moving, like it's
a real
definitely
horse.
real.
I was
Look
on.
at it.
Can you imagine? And it's like, that's hilarious.
Oh.
How if you were
That's
a
so
kid,
sad that
if
the
you were a
mother-
kid, like like a 10-year-old, and you were in your backyard with like your mini horse, wouldn't you be like the happiest,
Heck yeah,
the happiest
what?
kid in the world? Can we see that happy mini horse one
Yeah.
more time? That puts a smile on my
It
face.
does.
That little mini horse.
Look at him run.
It's so cute.
Aw.
So even though Peabody's jaw is out of line and he
Peabody,
couldn't walk, his original owners thought the mini horse was deaf and blind. Smith, who's taking care of this mini horse, knew the animal just deserved a chance. So she rented a van, drove across the country to adopt Peabody, and since the adoption, Peabody's head has grown, his jaw has aligned, he's learned to walk, he can see perfectly fine, and despite being deaf, Peabody has adjusted well to his new home. What a cute little horsey.
I think this is the fuzziest of them all.
That's the fuzziest fuzzy I've ever seen in my
This is
entire
the
life.
fuzziest of. Look at him.
Can you imagine there's a horse in your home?
That's wild. Oh.
Do you know I was on a JetBlue plane once. You know they allow you to bring your your pets on the plane.
That would be wild.
There was a
to-
horse on the plane. Yeah, this woman bought a horse on the plane. It was in the front row. I'm not kidding. Maybe there was a donkey, and the horse had its own chair. It was like in the bulkhead, row one.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I'm like, it's like,
Where were you flying from?
I was back from Florida, and yep,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget this in my entire life because I was in like row 9 or 10. I mean, the horse was fine or donkey was fine, didn't do anything. But like in JetBlue, there's like 3 seats. There's like A, B, C.
Uh-huh.
So this woman brought the horse on the plane, okay, and she was in C, which is the aisle, and the horse was in the middle seat. Can you imagine?
Somebody had to sit
in
next
the
to it?
window seat next to this horse on the plane for 2.5 hours.
I would have been like, absolutely not.
I said, man, I need a refund on this one.
Yeah.
Right, but that's a true story from about a year ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we covered a story where somebody brought. It was a wild and it was crazy. I don't remember what it was, but they brought it onto the plane. I don't know if Jilly remembers. It was the story we covered like a year or two ago.
Yeah, some like wild pets on a plane.
But a freaking horse?
Yeah, horse. But anyway, I said that poor man who's sitting in the window next to the horse and this woman. Vanessa, up or down? Up or down?
The top.
The top
Go
one.
to the top.
All right, you got it. A grape? Not a grape. A great.
A great.
Right, a great ape. A grape ape is a cartoon. But a
yes.
great ape story, Vanessa. Turns out, just like people, some great apes use purposeful signals to begin and end social interactions with each other, behaviors not typically seen outside of humans until now. Researchers observed more than 1,200 interactions with chimpanzees in a zoo. These apes were more likely to hold hands, butt heads, touch each other before and after playing.
Oh, look at them kissing.
Yes, the chimpanzees
Whoa.
exchange hello signals
Damn fresh.
prior to playing 90% of the time. And scientists say that the ape's ability to signal hello and goodbye indicates something much bigger than politeness. It shows that chimpanzees can communicate a mutual sense of
Look at this.
obligation.
They're shaking hands.
They're shaking hands with each other?
Yeah, look at
Let
the
me
picture.
see them shake hands.
They're shaking hands.
They're holding hands. I don't know if they're shaking hands.
Nah, look, they looking at each other, shaking hands.
They just made a deal? All right. I'll take the 6 coconuts. You get the 6 bananas. Let's go. Hey, you think it's like what they're making a deal about?
I believe it. I like this doesn't surprise me. Like they've done so much, so many different researches and like of them, figuring out math and all kinds of stuff, like and reading or like communicating in sign language. I believe it.
Do you think we came from these chimpanzees and apes, or do you think we just showed up? Just showed up.
I mean, they say.
What do you think?
They look like humans. They look like little humans.
They look they look like fuzzy little people.
Yeah, it's kind of. You said what?
I love ape stories. This is our second. Last week we had, remember the ape with the glasses?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He threw them back.
I think it's so smart. So I love
the fact that he put it. Yeah.
Every time I see these stories, I think of the movies, The Planet of the Apes. I'm like, the apes are going to take over, and then all of a sudden now the humans are going to be in the prison, and the apes are going to be running things.
Definitely don't want that.
I don't want to be in no zoo.
I mean, I even saw a video of a smaller monkey saw a mask on the floor somewhere, wherever they were in the forest or whatever, and somebody was recording and literally put on the mask in front of his face and just walking around, like would take it off and just put it. How would they know? It's a whole video of them doing that.
I don't know. In humans, according to the study's lead author in Humans, that sense of mutual obligation bears witness of joint commitments. That underpins all kinds of joint interactions, including small-scale ones. For example, you have lunch with your friends, or large-scale ones like big projects. It's the glue of our success as a species. That groundwork is present as well as also in chimpanzees, they say.
Wow.
Man. I always think I'm a bit monkey. I'm a little monkey sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I say when I grow my beard out, I'm like, I look like a freaking monkey. So I would say, yeah, we all came from monkeys.
There you go.
I look in the mirror, I go, I look like a monkey now. I got to shave.
Now we can't unsee it.
Right. You said it.
All right, now every time you look at me, you're going to say I'm a monkey now. Okay. All right, let's go. In today's education, I talk about incorporating a business and all of the basic information you will need to start the process. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Incorporation Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you'll want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. For many entrepreneurs, incorporating a business is the best way to protect themselves and their owners and shareholders from personal liability for the business's actions and debts. So is a corporation right for you? Well, there are pros and cons to forming a corporation. The most common pro is that incorporating a business limits your personal liability for business obligations, meaning you protect your assets, such as your home or vehicles. Another pro is that a corporation's ownership is contained in shares that are easy to transfer from one owner to another. And unlike a sole proprietorship or general partnership, you can pass your corporation on to someone else if something happens to you, unless you decide to have the corporation dissolve upon your death. Now, here are the cons to incorporating. It costs money to set up and dissolve a corporation, and corporations have additional record-keeping and annual reporting requirements that sole proprietorships and partnerships just don't have. Another important thing to check before deciding to incorporate is how it will affect your taxes. If after you've considered the pros and cons and you decided to incorporate, you'll need to prepare articles of incorporation and file them with the state. Each state has its own rules about how to incorporate, but here's some basic information you're going to need. Number one, you will need your business name. Now, rules about businesses' names vary, but most include these general guidelines. Your business name must be different from the name of any other business entity registered to do business in your state. There are also restrictions on certain words in a business name. And your business name must end with incorporated, company, corporation, or an abbreviation of one of those words. You need a business address. Your articles of incorporation must also list the names of some of your decision makers. There are two types of decision makers you will probably have to identify: incorporators and directors. In addition to the articles of incorporation, you'll need bylaws that will guide the way your corporation operates. You will also need to know who the owners of the corporation are. The owners of a corporation are known as shareholders, and they own shares of stock in a business. In your articles of incorporation, you'll most likely need to specify the number of shares of stock your corporation is authorized to issue. But you shouldn't have to list the names of the shareholders. However, your internal corporate records should include your shareholders' names and the number of shares of stock issued to each of them. The articles of incorporation must also specify a street address within the state of incorporation and a person located at that address that can receive legal documents, notices, and lawsuits on behalf of the corporation. The address is often referred to as a registered office, and the person at that address is referred to as the registered agent or statutory agent. In most states, your business location can serve as the registered office, and a corporation or anyone aged 18 or over can be the registered agent. If you don't have an office in the state where you incorporate or want someone else to act as an agent on your behalf, you can always hire a professional registered agent. Once you have this basic information organized, you will be ready to start forming your corporation. Good luck on getting incorporated, and I hope you make millions. And you can watch all of the Braducations on the Only Fully Clothed Attorney on OnlyFans.tv. Why OnlyFans.tv? Why not? Right?
Right.
That's the way it works. So let's do, you got a question, I got an answer. We'll go to our telephone lines now. Sunita in Washington, how are you? How are you, Sunita? Sunita? You're waiting 1 hour, Sunita.
I'm waiting 1 hour.
I know you are.
Hello?
I didn't know you were gonna. I didn't know what happened to you, but there you are. What's going on?
Yeah, it's okay, sir. Yeah, I'm okay.
How can I help
yes,
you?
sir. My question is, my husband applied for me 2017 I-130, but they deny my case.
Why?
The USA is they telling they request is servicing, checking, you're still pending. That's why they don't have any answer.
What's still pending?
One I-130.
Why is your I-130 pending since 2017? And what was denied? I don't know what you're saying to me. You're in the United Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Just stop. You're in the United States, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where are you from?
India.
Okay. And how did you come to the United States? Sunita?
Yes, sir.
How did you come to America? Did you come here on a visa?
Yeah, I on a visa.
What kind of visa?
I think B1.
A B visa. Okay, a tourist visa. And when did you come to America?
2008.
Okay. And you got married when?
Yeah, I got married with my husband, but I have before.
Stop. Just answer the question. You got married when?
Married
when did you marry your husband? Is my question.
2011.
Okay. And is this your first marriage, your second marriage?
No, my second marriage.
Your second marriage. Were you divorced from your first husband when you got married in 2011?
Yeah, already my case is very little bit, I think, difficult.
Sunita, I didn't ask
Yes,
you
sir.
for any explanation. Just answer my questions so I can
Yeah.
help you. Were you divorced from your first husband when you married your current husband?
Yeah, I already divorced.
You divorced him.
What is the divorce? क्या था?
Degree.
Not degree, the difference.
You had a NISI or an absolute?
Divorce degree.
Oh, sorry, sir?
You had a full divorce before you married your current husband. That's my question to you.
No.
You were not fully divorced. After 1 hour and all of that, Sunita hangs the phone up?
Maybe she.
Call back, Sunita.
Yeah,
We'll help you.
just lost service.
Yeah, I hope so. Abdul in Brooklyn. Abdul.
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you for asking. So I got a question for you. So I came here in the United States in 2016, and I was new. So I got registered to vote on my green card. So through DMV though.
Who registered you to vote on a green card?
DMV.
DMV. Okay. So as long as you didn't make a claim to U.S. citizenship and they just mistakenly did it, it's okay. It's not going to prevent you from becoming a citizen, if that's your question.
So they sent me an email, the mail, and I have. So I was going through my trash mails, and I found out an unopened mail. So I tried to request them that
what is your
can
question? What is your question to me?
My question is, if you are registered to vote through DMV, you can still apply for.
I already answered that question 5 minutes ago. But you weren't
So
listening to it.
I never heard you answer.
I know, because you were just talking over me. I said,
Okay, sorry.
I said, because I already knew what you were going to ask. I said that if you did not make a claim to citizenship and DMV just registered you to vote in error, it will not prevent you from becoming a United States citizen.
Okay.
All right, so you should be okay if that's how it went down. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So how do I file my N 400?
You fill it out and mail it in.
No. So there are questions like, have you ever voted?
You would need to speak to a good lawyer, and you would say something to the effect of, I got my driver's license at motor vehicles, and they mistakenly registered me to vote. I never made any false claim to U.S. citizenship. Something to that effect, if that's the truth. But I think you should have a lawyer look at exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
All right?
Got it.
Hold on. All right, let's go back to Sunita. Sunita in Washington, D.C. Sunita.
Yes, sir.
When we last left off with you, I was asking you a question.
Yeah, my question is...
No, I didn't ask you. I need to know a little bit about you first.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just let me ask a few questions, and then I'll let you ask a question, and then I'll give you an answer, okay?
Yes, sir.
You were married in 2011 to your current husband, and you were previously married in India. And I had asked you, were you divorced from your first husband? And your answer is?
Answer is no, because then I have one more thing. Can I explain you?
Sure.
Yeah, 2005, I separate with my ex-husband, and because he make weak stage, I think he killed me like in my hand and my leg and my head. So many things, and I have robbed my hand. Then I separate with him 2005, and this time, same time, I find a job and I came America 2007. That's why my case is pending in India, the family court. And this time I closed the case and I came to America. I work 1 year this America, and again I go back to India, and again I want to start my case, but again I find another job, and again I came here 2008 I think March.
Were you
That's
traveling
why
on tourist visas this whole time?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a problem too, working on a tourist visa and then traveling back to go work
No,
on a
but
tourist
they're
visa.
different. Two different people. Two different
You
people.
don't
They
understand
bring
what
me
I'm saying.
here.
It doesn't matter who brought you here.
Uh-huh.
Continue. You already have one problem. I'll tell you that at the end. Continue.
Uh-huh.
Not ha-ha. I'm telling you the truth.
No, I don't understand. That's why I say uh-huh.
I
This
thought
is
ha-ha
my.
means you're laughing.
No, sir. No, not laughing, sir. Very difficult life right now, and I am every day waiting for your call.
Sunita.
Yes, sir.
Sunita. Did you ever divorce your first husband in India? I asked you that question.
No, I told you.
Okay, and all right, so you're married to two different men at the same time. So that's
Yeah.
why your I-130 is not getting approved. You're not in a legal marriage. And number two, when it comes to your husband's a U.S. citizen?
No, he's holder, green card holder.
Green card holder. Okay. So there's three reasons why you're not eligible. You're not getting through. Well, number one is you can't adjust your status until your husband's a citizen. Number two, you may not be legally married to your current husband because you never divorced your first husband. And then number three, even if your husband is a citizen and you are legally married to him, you may need a waiver at the end for misrepresentation on entering the United States, working, leaving, and then re-entering the United States to work a second time. So you have lots of issues. My first advice is if you are not divorced from your husband in India, you are not legally married to your current husband here. You're in a bigamous marriage. So you would need, you've been in America for over a decade, you would need to do a divorce here in America.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, sorry. I do my divorce with in India because this here I have one lawyer. He asking me I have mutual divorce before, but they don't accept. That's why they told me give me your real degree divorce. Then I call the family court and I talk with video call.
You don't have a divorce in India. You don't have a divorce in India. You need.
Yeah, I do.
You just told me you don't.
Yeah, before 2005 I don't have, but none after I have 2 degrees. One
Did you
mutual
go?
divorce.
Let's stop because you're frustrating me.
Oh, okay.
Answer my question.
Okay, sir.
You married this man, your current husband, in 2011. I asked you a straightforward, very simple question.
Yes, sir.
Were you divorced from your first husband? We're on this call 5 minutes. I haven't gotten a straight answer from you yet. Answer a straight answer. I'm giving you a straight question. Give me a straight answer. Other than that, I can't help you.
Yes,
Were you divorced from your first husband in India on the day? Do you have a legal divorce? I don't want to hear any stories about I called the court said this. Do you have a legal, finished, terminated marriage in India on the day you married your husband here in America? Yes?
Yeah.
You told me 5 minutes ago no.
First thing, sometime I really don't understand my English.
I know. You need a consultation because we can go on our show forever like this. So hold on. You need a consultation. Hold on. Let's go to Ali in the Bronx. Ali.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Brad?
Hi, how are you?
I have a quick question. Actually, the situation is a little tricky. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to explain everything. I came in 2016 on a student visa, and within a month, I fell out of status because I was preparing my asylum application due to my country's condition.
Right.
And unfortunately, when I went back to school, they said, no, you're not allowed because you are considered out of status. Because even though the visa was valid and everything, the validity was there. I did not leave the school. I began school without F1 status. And eventually, after 3 years, I got married.
Okay.
And due to the asylum referred to the court, I was in removal proceedings. Now my question is, the I-130 is approved, right? And it's only 2 months for the individual hearing. So the lawyer did not submit the adjustment of status package because it was the asylum individual. He is trying to terminate the proceeding, and I asked him, do not file the motion to terminate?
They can't terminate the proceedings. Okay? Once you're in removal, you're in removal. You can't get your proceedings terminated because you have an I-130 approved. It's not the rules.
He said the prosecutorial discretion is back, so now the government attorney not going to have any issue, and the judge going to grant our motion.
That's not true. Okay? What prosecutorial discretion does not terminate your removal. It just takes it off of the calendar. Procedurally, you have to adjust your status before a judge. There is no other way around it. So getting prosecutorial discretion doesn't allow you to file an adjustment with USCIS. You still have to adjust your status with the judge. When you get prosecutorial discretion, all they do is they take your case off of any calendar. So they don't schedule you. You're still in removal. You're just not calendared.
Okay, my question.
No, you don't have any questions. Let me tell you what your problem is. Okay?
Yes.
You know what your problem is? You're listening to a lawyer who doesn't know what he's doing. So let me tell you what needs to be done. You have no more questions. You just have to listen at this point. Because you're in 2 months from now, you're going for a final hearing on asylum. So unless you have a great asylum case, you're going to get ordered deported. So what you need to do is recalendar the case for a master calendar. Tell the judge that you have an approved I-130 visa petition. You do not want to go forward on the asylum case. You want to adjust your status. You recalendar the case, and after you recalendar the case and get back onto a master calendar, you go to the judge and say, here's my I-130, and then the judge reschedules a new individual hearing.
Oh, so that means it could take now a couple of years again.
Maybe, yes, but given the choice of going forward on an asylum case, I don't know if you want to do that. Unless the judge says, I'll do your adjustment at the asylum, but your lawyer never filed anything yet, so how's the judge going to do it?
Yeah. My question is, do I need a waiver, the 601 in the court because I fell out of status 1 month?
No, as long as you can show as your intention to go. Nobody's charged you with any misrepresentation that I'm aware of. Okay?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, so if they do, then yes. But if it was not, if it was your intention to go to school when you came to America,
100%, just because of my country condition,
and something changed, well then it changed. So it's fact specific, but you haven't told me that anyone's charged you with a misrepresentation yet.
No, not yet.
Your issue, that's not your issue right now. Your issue is you're heading for an asylum individual hearing. You got to do something.
So is it possible if he files a adjustment of package a status right now, so we will be able in 2 months to go and say, look, we have filed the adjustment?
I'm not the judge. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay? But it sounds like your lawyer doesn't know what he's doing. All right?
Okay.
Take it for that. All right? You're talking to one who does, but it sounds like your lawyer doesn't. Okay? Hold on. Let's go to Khalid in San Diego. Khalid. Khalid in San Diego. Khalid in San Diego going once. Khalid in San Diego going twice. Let's go to Antonio in Long Island.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, Brad, my question is, I was married to a permanent resident, and I was abused, and I filed for VAWA in August of November of 2018, and my case was approved on January, March, April, May, June 24th. So I received the approval notice.
The approval of what? What was the approval? The I-360?
Yes.
Okay.
And it says there is what's the deferred action for 15 months? What do they really mean?
Deferred action?
Yeah.
It means that they're not going to do anything to you.
Okay. And one more question. How long do you think I have to wait after receiving this?
Wait for what? Your green card? Did you file an adjustment application?
Yes. My work permit changed from C09 to C31.
Okay, but all right. So about 8 to 10 months after your I-360 is approved, you should get an adjustment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's go to Emerson in Boston. Emerson.
Hello.
Hi, Brad.
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on?
So basically, I came to the U.S. in 2016 on a tourist visa, and it expired, so I'm out of status. And last year, I got married to a U.S. citizen.
Right.
But since then, the marriage hasn't worked, and we got divorced.
Sorry to hear that.
And that was before I even got the biometrics appointment.
Okay.
And I got my biometrics appointment, eventually, last month. And I did not go.
Right.
Basically, I was pretty scared of. Some lawyers told me that
there was no reason to go. You did the right thing.
Yeah. So basically, my question to you is: do I have any chance of winning my 130 case because it's still pending in USCIS?
No, you're divorced. You have zero chance.
Zero chance.
Zero chance. But as long as you don't have a criminal record, the Biden administration said they're not going to go after you or people who have denied adjustments. So you should be okay. You're divorced. You're going to have to fall in love again at some point and try again.
Okay, so I should not go to biometrics.
No, there's nothing good's going to come from it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Let's go to Goodwin in Los Angeles. Goodwin.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Brad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I must say you're really doing a great job. Thank you for your help. Yeah. I actually filed for VAWA to 2019. That's about 2 years and 5 months now. So far, I have received a Premier Facility 4 times. So I'm kind of wondering.
They're taking about 3 years right now.
Oh, okay, about 3 years right now.
So just hang in there.
Okay, my second question is, is it possible to remarry to my first wife after because right now I'm divorced right now actually.
If you have a pending VAWA case and it has not been approved, and you get married to anybody, your first wife, a new wife, a 10th wife, that's the end of your VAWA. So you're not getting married to anybody right now. After you get your green card, you can have a discussion with me about what you want to do.
Oh, okay. No problem. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Let's go to Ali in Philadelphia.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Mr. Brad,
Yes.
I have a question. 2017, I came to the United States on the B2 visa. Within 25 days, I applied for the asylum, and still the asylum is pending. And I got a sponsor now, and I would like to apply for the EB3.
You can do it.
And I have to. Sorry?
You can do it.
And, sir, I have a question, sir. Most of the lawyers, they told me, yes, you're eligible for the EB3. And the argument that they're going to show to the USCIS is the matter of LK something like 2004 BIA. That's the thing, sir. I just want to get your advice because I have heard about you so much.
Okay, my advice is this. There's not been a day you've been out of status because you came on a tourist visa and then you applied for asylum. So you've been in status every day of your life in America. If you get sponsored in a job, you would be eligible to adjust your status in the U.S. under 245. That's my answer.
Okay, but I'm it's still pending from 3 years, sir.
Yes, so just make sure it keeps pending until your job sponsorship's done.
Okay. Then the USCIS is not going to make any problem. They're going to say your pending asylum is not in any status.
You have a pending asylum. You do a labor certification, your asylum's still pending.
Yes.
You do an I-140, your asylum's still pending. You could still then file an adjustment. You will get a green card. You've been in legal status every day.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brad. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Abadel in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Good. What's going on?
So I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So the first one, my N400 interview coming up this month, September.
Right.
So I'm trying to get my words together. I'm sorry. So I need to ask a question. So I had arrest, back in 2012 when I first came here, but it was rendered. That means like nothing really happened. Because anyway, so it's not like nothing happened.
I don't know
It's
what
the whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. What happened in 2012?
Okay, so I did not disclose it in the first green card or the second green card.
What happened?
So I went to visit, my friends in their cell phone store, and the officer arrested all of us because I was behind the counter. She thought I'm working there because they didn't have second-hand license. So they were selling used phones, but they didn't have license, and she thought I was working there, the officer. But when when the court date came, so I explained that to the judge, and they let me out of it, So they dropped the whole charge. I mean, I didn't have no charge, nothing.
All right. Were you fingerprinted?
No, I did not go to prison. No, it's just like
I didn't ask if you
detained.
went to prison. I said, did they fingerprint you?
Hold on one second. I cannot hear you. It's just really low.
Did they fingerprint you?
Yeah, they did.
All right. So then it's considered an arrest. It's a false arrest, but it's an arrest. So I would set the record straight on your citizenship. I don't think it has any bearing on whether you would have got your green card or not. I would suggest you have a lawyer represent you at your citizenship interview because you are now changing something material on your original green card applications, and that's now different on your citizenship application, your application for naturalization when you go on your interview. But ultimately, when they decide whether or not to grant you citizenship or not, it's did this prevent them from making a full decision on your green card. I don't think a false arrest, the officer thought you worked at the store and you didn't work at the store and they let you go and it was a big mistake, that would have materially affected your green card application in any way, shape, or form. But I still think you would need a good attorney to be there with you.
So do you think I should bring an attorney to the interview with me?
Yes,
right?
And I think that you should not continue to lie.
No, I did not lie. I mean, I took the attorney advice, and he said, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, he said.
Well, I don't know what that means. If you were fingerprinted, you were arrested. So you want to be clear.
Right.
All right, so hold on one second. Let's go to Nick in Chicago. Nick. And by the way, just so you know, before we get to Nick, if you misrepresent yourself, the excuse that my attorney told me to misrepresent myself doesn't fly. So if you listen to an attorney and the attorney told you to say something that's not true, and now that causes you a problem, you can't say, oh, well, my attorney told me to say it, so I'm off the hook. It doesn't work that way. All right, Nick, what can I do to help you?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Brett, for the show. It's a great show. I have a question. Today I was finally, after 2 years and a half, approved. I'm the U.S. citizen, and my wife, she is with me.
Great.
Yeah, and she got a letter saying evidence of request for evidence, and that letter is only the medical.
Okay.
So shall I celebrate, or is it something that for me, it looks like a straightforward. There's nothing else that she was asked.
No, she still has to go for an interview. They were just saying, you went for the interview already, or didn't go for the interview?
Yes. Everything was fine. So we went to the interview, and
I see. So this is after the fact. They just asked you for a medical.
Yes, we had everything presented.
I would put the champagne on ice, but don't pop the cork till she gets her green card. But yes, that sounds like everything will be fine.
And another thing is now, tomorrow she will have to go for this medical. It's been more than 2 years.
Yes.
And I see that Johnson & Johnson is not the FDA approved. If they require something, she did Johnson & Johnson.
I think that would be fine.
She will be fine, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought, but you never know.
Right.
Because having another Pfizer after Johnson & Johnson, that will not be really...
That's not good.
Yeah. And I was having... So I guess that's all. It's good news.
So that's all good news, correct.
Okay.
All right.
That's all.
Okay.
Thank you. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Let's go to Stacy in Atlanta.
Hey.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. What's going on?
If you're a bit low.
I don't know why everyone says I'm low.
You're a bit low. I can hardly hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're married to somebody on disability.
Yes.
can that prevent you from getting your green card?
No. Their disability has nothing to do with their income. It has to do with an injury that they have. So it doesn't prevent them from sponsoring you. If their disability payments are not high enough to support you 125% above the poverty level, you may need a second affidavit of support from somebody else, but that doesn't prevent them from filing for you. That would be different than somebody who's collecting, food stamps or something like that. That would be different because that's a need-based government assistance based on being below the poverty level.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
and the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
luck.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Let's go to Adam in Newark.
Hello.
Hi, Adam.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's
With
going
the
on?
family in the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got like 3 questions.
3.
The first question
Yes.
is, can I use wage and income transcript on IRS as my W-2?
Yes.
Okay. And the second question is, can I use my regular tax return that I did file instead of transcript since I didn't receive one
Yes.
this year because of the backlog?
Yes.
Okay. And the second question is, should I write a letter explaining the tax transcript issue on the IA-64 case?
What's the issue?
Because I didn't receive the transcript.
You could just attach a letter to the last tax return and say I can't receive the transcripts yet, and you can bring it for the interview. It's fine.
Well, Brad, you're doing a great
All
job.
right.
I don't
Okay,
know
Adam.
what to say, man. There's a billion answers. Thank you.
All you gotta
Appreciate
say
it.
is,
God bless you.
I was gonna say, all you gotta say is thank you, God bless you. That's all
May
I need.
Allah bless you.
All right, thank you. I hope I get blessed by God one day. All right, thank you. All right, let's go to Tushar in New Haven. Tushar.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I love your show.
Thank you.
Sir, okay, I came here 2015 on a visa and I applied for asylum.
Yes.
And my asylum got denied on interview.
Okay.
And we married, and my I-130 interview coming after a year, my 485 coming. But my I-130 approved, but the officer, admin closed. They said they have no jurisdiction.
Correct.
And they sent to the
judge,
and judge gave me the individual, and they grant my status. And which they like 1 month ago, judge, nobody sent me any approval letter or
because
notice.
it takes a long time, because what has to happen is it has to be transferred back to USCIS. USCIS has to process your green card, and that takes months and months and months, unfortunately. So you're not going to get anything for a few months, but you're a resident. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. And by the way, if you didn't get a chance to ask your questions of me, you could always follow me on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. You follow me on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. You could drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. You could also follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram for the best 30, 45 seconds. Little biteable Bradshaw Live, little pieces for your enjoyment at Bradshaw Live on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok, our fastest growing social media platform, where you could leave a question or a comment, and usually I will give you an answer. Sometimes I give a little snippy comment back, but I usually give a good answer by video, so you'll get an actual video of me that comes back as a new TikTok video. And Yo-Yo?
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later in the show, after social media check-in, we will meet Gracie Murphree, the founder of Heart of Christ Ministries in Honduras. Gracie runs Honduras' first Special Victims Unit program, which has one of the highest femicide rates in the world. Gracie will explain the situation in the country and why people continue to flee, risking the dangerous trek to the United States to seek asylum.
And now, essential healthcare worker CC Yam tells us what she would like to see in U.S. immigration reform. Now, squad, what would you guys like to see? I'll be checking in the comments.
What is the #1 change you want to see in U.S. immigration reform?
I do hope to see one day we will treat each other equally. I mean, we're all human beings. I don't care where you're from, what language you speak. As long as you do good thing in here, that we should be treated respectfully. Yeah, and with all this issue coming up, like anti-Asian crime and all this stuff. Hopefully we'll put a stop to it because we just want to make United States a better place for everyone to be here.
All right, Julian, let's get the social media check-in thing going. Yo-Yo and Vanessa scouring the comments.
We in there.
All right, what do you got?
All right, Chile KM, Brad Squad VIP member. My cousin has been based in France for 10 years now. His wife filed for him and the petition was approved. Does he need to provide police clearance from his home country, the Congo, or does he just need one from France?
How is he filing?
The cousin has been based in France for 10 years, and his wife filed for him.
The answer is yes, you need from the Congo too. You need from every jurisdiction you have lived in past the age of 16 for more than 6 months.
Tico Zivadez, another Brad Squad VIP member. Will USCIS recognize my foreign divorce certificate if both spouses were living in the U.S. during the divorce proceedings and had a pending asylum case? My ex-husband is still waiting for an interview.
The answer is no. So if you were both in the United States of America and got a foreign divorce, nobody was living in the country where you got the foreign divorce. That country had no jurisdiction to handle your divorce. So most likely, I would have to see the divorce, but I would tell you almost 99% that's not a good divorce.
Reggie Murphy, Brad Squad VIP member. The NVC approved my wife's case in May of this year. How long will it take for her to get an interview date in Jamaica?
I don't know the answer to that. Hopefully soon. But I have to say something about Jamaica, by the way. Sadly, we just got an email. You just reminded me, actually.
Oh, wow.
Got an email from the consulate in Jamaica that as of September 8th, everybody who has an interview for a green card in Jamaica is going to get it canceled and rescheduled again. And they're already backed up, and it's all due to COVID. So that sucks for Jamaica. Wow. That sucks for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a little lengthy. It's from Liz Muhaja, another Brad Squad VIP member. I had a customary law marriage back in my country in 2008 where elders only met to discuss dowry and no registration was made. We had a troubled relationship due to culture differences, and after I came to the U.S. for a visit in 2013, my ex-husband's family dissolved the marriage and demanded part of the dowry and paid during the ceremony to be returned. My mother did the return, what they demanded to dissolve the marriage with the elders. I recently met someone and got married. Does USCIS recognize foreign customary law marriages and divorces?
I don't think that's going to be a recognized divorce. USCIS only recognizes civil marriages. So this is a customary marriage. It's probably not a civil marriage in the particular country where you lived. So based on what you told me, without knowing the specific country and what goes on in that particular country, but based on what you told me, I'm 99.9% certain they don't recognize the marriage or the divorce. You were never married.
Okay, Buki Saula, Brad Squad VIP member. Am I required to maintain F1 status while waiting for my family-based green card to be approved? My I-130 has been approved and I'm still waiting for my I-485.
If it's not marriage to a U.S. citizen, parent of a U.S. citizen, or child under 21 of a U.S. citizen, you got to stay in status until your adjustment is filed.
To Airball Top Spanuli on YouTube, what will be announced on September 15th? Do the essential workers have hope for pathways to citizenship?
Magic 8 Ball. I am neither the President of the United States, the Vice President, a member of the Senate or Congress, or work for any of them, that I would have any idea what's going on behind closed doors. But only the Magic 8 Ball knows when a future amnesty bill is passed, will essential workers be included in it? And the answer is, better not tell you now. Damn, Magic 8 Ball is getting tough.
Yeah. Damn. Being real picky with
what they want to answer.
Yeah. All right, Pretty Chef Ferreira on Facebook. I know I've asked this before, but I don't know where to start or where to go. I need to start paying taxes. I already have a Social Security number.
Go to a tax preparer, file a 1040 return. If you don't have a W-2, then you have to be considered as an independent contractor, and a good tax preparer will know what to do.
Aish Bardawa on YouTube. What does pending adjustment mean?
It means you have an adjustment application that's pending.
Nixta G on YouTube. Is it possible to travel with an I-130 straight to the USA from France?
You want to travel from USA to France with a what?
I-130.
You want to go from USA to France with an I-130?
Travel with an I-130 straight to the USA from France.
No. You need an immigrant visa, or you need an ESTA or something. You can't say, here's my I-130, I'm coming in. It's a form, not a visa.
CE user on Facebook. How does an N600K differ from an N600? Is the certificate issued the same or different? What is the difference between the N560 and the N561?
I don't know. What do you mean an N600K? You asking me all the different form numbers? N560, I don't even know if there's an N560. There's an N565, which is replacement of a, oh, it is? What is, let's see. What
Certificate of citizenship?
Yeah, let's see what it is. I gotta see what,
Application,
I know, but I gotta see.
application
The
for
N600
citizenship.
is the certificate of citizenship, that's for sure. That's if you're a child under 18. What is the N600K? Let me see what the N600K is. All forms, U.S. citizenship. Let's go to all forms. Let's see what
The
it is.
application of the U.S. citizenship and insurance of certification of citizenship is what I'm getting for N600.
Let's see what that is. What it is, I'll Google it. That's better. N600K.
Yeah.
Children. The N600K is what you would do if you're claiming citizenship living outside of the United States. The N600 is if you're living in the United States. So, for example, an N600K would be my dad was a U.S. citizen, and my mom is a foreigner, and I was born to a U.S. citizen dad and a non-U.S. citizen mother in another country, but I can prove that my dad was living in the United States for more than 5 years after my 14th birthday as a United States citizen. So that would be a claim to U.S. citizenship of a child born outside the U.S. The N600 is for a claim of citizenship of a child born in the U.S. You can ask me every immigration form, and I got to look it up again. I can't remember every last form.
All right.
Okay, but I can look it up. I can tell you what it is.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right. Jayshawn Mahal on YouTube. My I-130 is approved, and now I want to file for VAWA. How or will it help me in processing time to get approval on my I-360?
Why would what do they want to help on the I-360?
So the I-130 is approved, and now they
no, the
want to file for
the
VAWA.
I-130 being approved will not make it any faster for the I-360 to be approved.
Okay.
April Walker on Facebook. I'm an undocumented immigrant currently wondering if I could travel domestically within the U.S. with just my country's issued passport. Would that be a problem for me?
It shouldn't be. I can't give you ever a personal guarantee, but using your country's passport to get on a plane through TSA works for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people every day, and nobody's ever asked what their legal status is.
Okay, Sasha Johnson on Facebook. I'm in the U.S. on vacation and on a B1, B2, and I got an offer from a company to work for them, but I don't have a bachelor's, so it's difficult for them to sponsor me. The other option were to apply for school or get an organization to sponsor me. I would like to know how or what is the next step to actually get employed legally.
Depends what the job is and what your background is. We would need to have a consultation.
Robin Sayamorth on YouTube. Is there any legal status for the 11 million people on the immigration bill? Yeah, figured we were going right.
Magic 8 Ball, 11 million people, immigration bill. We have anything happening for them? Is it going to work for them? Magic 8 Ball says, It is certain. Yo, Magic 8 Ball's never wrong. Says it's certain.
It definitely says that.
Right? Magic 8 Ball is always right, Vanessa. 11 million people. Just hang in there. Magic 8 Ball says you're as good as in.
But you didn't, just the Magic 8 Ball.
I didn't say it, the Magic 8 Ball said.
Okay. Let's be clear.
Yes.
All right. AN or Ann on YouTube, I see they've been saying, please answer this question.
Okay.
So I am an LPR and my husband is stuck in Afghanistan. His case is documentarily qualified by the NVC. Now that America left the country, how can I help him get out of the country? His life is in danger.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Nobody's going in there to save him. There's no U.S. Embassy to process right now. He has to be smart on the ground and try to get to a third country. Not to America, but to a third country, and then we'll process him from there.
She did say, my husband is a marriage case, my brother has an SIV case, and my widowed sister has a family case.
It's terrible what we
Cannot
did.
find any way to get them out.
Terrible what we did. I don't have an answer.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow. Next one's from Chazo on YouTube. We are a family of 3. My wife earns $32,000 as a gross income, but her taxable income is $18K. Is she eligible to apply for me based on her taxable income? I don't know the requirements.
No, you have to be 125% above the poverty level. For family 2, it's going to be over 20,000.
Rosemarie Elliott on Facebook. What about my kids back home in Jamaica who are waiting on their appointment date? Do they have to take the vaccine? They're 17 and 12.
No.
All right.
Mary Anderson on Facebook. Can someone who filed for VAWA a year ago file for a divorce now?
Yes, but you can't get remarried.
Terry Ann Brown on YouTube. What's going on for undocumented people?
I don't know what's going on. We'll find out soon.
Chan on YouTube. My I-360 processing date passed 3 days ago. How soon should I hear something?
Yo.
Michelle Gordon on YouTube. Should I wait until 1 year after the NVC approved my I-130 to try to expedite my husband's document?
No, try now.
Alim Aga on Facebook. Is the 90-day wait for the green card to be mailed counted from the day we made payment to USCIS or from the day of entry to the U.S.?
Day of entry.
Delano Tees on Facebook. I was deported and legally returned through marriage. I've been in the U.S. for over 6 years now. Do you think I can file for my citizenship easily now?
Yes, because you've been a green card holder for more than 5 years.
Anne-Marie Anderson on YouTube. I'm the parent of a U.S. citizen. Should my child come to the green card interview with me?
Yes, if they can.
And last one, Iman Effet on YouTube. How long does a U visa take to be approved?
Like 7 years, really long. But they are now making these bona fide. I haven't seen the letters come in yet, but apparently they're going to shortly happen. You're going to get a bona fide determination and then be able to apply for a work permit. So let's hope those start coming in soon. Now, according to the 2017 United Nations and World Bank figures, Honduras has the 3rd highest femicide rate in the world. The Honduras Women's Rights Center says a woman is murdered every 16 hours, yet in 2019, just 4% of femicides are prosecuted. So it should not be surprising that the number of people fleeing Honduras is continuously on the rise. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Hondurans represent the largest nationality crossing the southern United States border, asking for asylum at more than 200 families per day. Gracie Murphree is the founder of Heart of Christ Ministries in Honduras. She is American-born, but has been living in the country since 2005. She runs the first ever Special Victims Unit program for the country and works with authorities to help women and children escape violent circumstances and to prosecute their abusers. She also runs an independent refugee center for women and children in need. And in this line of work, she has faced risks to her own life, including 5 separate death threats. Gracie has chronicled her work in the book Journey to Justice, Finding God and Destiny in Darkness. She joined me to discuss the situation in Honduras and to explain why people continue to flee the country, willing to risk the dangerous trek to the United States. Let's watch. According to the United Nations, the Central American country of Honduras is one of the most dangerous countries in the world for women. The number of U.S. asylum seekers from Honduras and neighboring El Salvador and Guatemala has increased by 500% since 2008. For many of the women making the journey to the southern border, it is not about escaping poverty. It is a matter of life and death. Gracie Murphree is the founder of Heart of Christ Ministries in Honduras that works with national and international authorities to aid victims of violence. Gracie is American and has been living in Honduras since 2005. She created the first ever Special Victims Unit for Honduras and is the author of a new book titled Journey to Justice, Finding God and Destiny in Darkness. Gracie joins me today to discuss her very important work. Gracie, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And you are in Honduras at the moment, right? Where in Honduras are you?
We are about 30 miles north of the capital city of Tegucigalpa, on the road to Olancho.
What led you to Honduras?
Well, we had come in 2004 for a 10-day missionary trip. I was a journalist prior to coming. And when we left, we were feeling like we were leaving home, not going home. And when my husband and I returned with the group, after a couple days, we sat down to talk and found out that both of us were feeling the same way. And we prayed about it and felt that we needed to sell everything and leave everything behind and move here. And a year later, we were here. We landed on June 28, 2005.
Wow. What should we know about women living in Honduras and the violence that's happening there?
Honduras is a country that has a machismo attitude in which the woman and the children are property of the man, like the pigs and the dogs in the yard. And there's this belief that the man can do anything that they want with the woman. The violence against women is tremendous. When we began, there were about 185 femicides, that's murders of women in Honduras, per year. Since we've been here, more than 5,000 women have been murdered, and they don't have any justice. 94 to 96% of all cases of special crimes go unpunished in Honduras, according to the United Nations.
So you started an organization in Honduras there. It's called Hearts of Christ. Tell me what that organization is about and tell me what you do there.
We work with vulnerable groups, women, children, elderly, disabled, LGBT groups, indigenous groups that suffer violence in the country. We work with the authorities, with the police, the investigators, the prosecutors, the judges, to help the client through the legal process of their case. We also have a home for girls pregnant by rape and incest, and we have an emergency crisis refuge. We have the crisis office, and we're building a justice center. So basically, we work with the woman or the child or the person who is a member of a vulnerable group at the moment that they put in their report to the police, or they come to us and we go with them to the police, help them through the entire process, give them shelter, provide needs that they may have at the time. And we also train the authorities to know what the laws and the procedures are and how to treat victims of violence.
How is your relationship with the authorities there in Honduras?
Well, it's hard to describe the government or the authorities in one group. We have some who do want to help us and work side by side with us, and then we have others who sabotage us and try to cause us harm. So the ministry actually exists because the police came to us in 2005 and asked me to create this program for victims of violence. They told me that I was now Chief of Special Crimes of the first Special Crimes Office in the country, and that there were police under my command. They didn't ask. It was, I guess, decided by them. And we did the work. We had tremendous success because in Honduras, more than 70% of women and children suffer some form of violence. And overall, because of a culture not to report, and because of a culture of revenge, and because of the negligence and corruption, people don't report crimes. So only about 30% or less of special crimes are reported. Less than 12% make it to the court. Less than 1%, or as the United Nations says, 4 to 6% receive justice in their cases. And we had such success that we had increased the number of reports to over 90%, with a 71% conviction rate. And that was great, but during the process, there would be family members or friends of the perpetrator who would be angry that we were working to empower this justice, and they would actually try to kill me. Basically, when we got to 71% conviction rate, the 29% of cases that we can't get done in the court, we know who the criminal is, but can't find him, or we don't know who he is, or it's negligence and corruption. And when I started filing corruption and negligence reports, Then the order to assassinate me by the government came out.
Do you have protection right now?
My walls, my cameras, my security guard, my dogs.
You have a security,
the Lord.
You have a security guard.
Yes, we have security guards.
What would happen to the perpetrator in 2005 before you arrived? Was there any
Nothing.
justice? There was no justice.
No, if they went to the police, a lot of times the police would re-victimize the woman and send her away, that it was her fault. They wouldn't know what to do, and so they'd mishandle the case. If they did take the report, many times, most of the time, the report was never submitted to the judge. A protection order was never put into place. The procedures of the law were not followed properly.
So there was a reluctance to report a crime because nothing would happen. So now, when you came, how did you get teeth into the prosecution of a crime? What did you do that somebody was actually getting arrested?
I was actually in the office in the police station. They'd given me an office in the police station with police officers. So when the victims or clients would arrive, we would walk with them through the process and make sure that the police did their job, make sure that the investigators did their job. We would harass them and say, when are you going out to the crime scene? When are we getting the arrest warrant? When are you giving the case to the prosecutor? We go to the prosecutor. When are you sending it into the judge for the arrest warrant? You know, the arrest warrant would come in. I'd go to the colonel. When we had a good colonel, when we had bad colonels, we had no help. But when we had a good colonel, I'd say, hey, we got the arrest warrant for this. Can we get a team? I actually was active in every single case.
So in 2005, there were laws. They just, nobody was doing anything with those laws.
Yeah, it's the same now.
It's the same laws as in 2005. It's just now maybe there's a little more enforcement because you're literally standing on top of people.
Well, you see, they made me chief of special crimes for 3 states. In the 3 states that we were working in, and then the one other office that we worked with, the woman who worked nationally, we were making progress. It was a struggle. Every case was a fight. We handled over 6,000 cases between 2006 and 2011. Outside of that area, it was still the same as it was before. And then in 2011, we had to close our offices because of the order to assassinate me. And everything went back nationally to the way it was before. We now have reopened the office in September of 2018, and we're starting to get back into the swing of doing the cases. But it's only in the area that we're in. Right now, we have an 85% conviction rate.
How do you educate people who were victims of violence to come forward?
Well, first of all, we have a radio show to over 500,000 listeners in our area to teach them about violence and what to do and let them know that we're here. We also go into the communities and teach the leaders, and we go into the schools with the kids and the parents. And then we walk with them side by side through the process. So when they go to the police to put in their report, we're with them when they're doing that. When they go to forensics to have their forensic evaluation, we're holding their hand. When they go to court, we're with them. And we maintain communication with them. Sometimes they're brought into our shelter, so we're taking care of them 24 hours a day.
Now, there was a horrific murder of Miss Honduras in 2014. Tell me about her murder. What happened?
She was at a party with her sister. It was a birthday party. I don't remember who it was for. And her sister's boyfriend did not like how she was dancing with another man or talking to another man. So he shot her dead. And when Miss Honduras went to run, he shot her dead. They did not find their bodies for a while. And I don't want to graphically say what was done with them because this is television, but they don't just kill people here. They have really barbaric ways of doing things with the bodies.
So what is this mentality of people who are doing this about abusing, beating women? Where's this mentality coming from?
It's a history of machismo. It began with the Spanish conquistadors and the power and the control over the people, and just the belief that the man is the one who has the ultimate power. It's like machismo on steroids, especially with gang members or drug traffickers or people involved in organized crime or somebody who holds a powerful position. Everything they own, it belongs to them. It's almost like sexual terrorism against women and children in this country. A woman could be walking down the street and the men are catcalling her. She could be grabbed off the side of the road and raped, gang raped by everybody, and then thrown back on the road. Or the man may have a wife and he has 5 girlfriends, but his wife he abuses and the girlfriends he abuses. There's just this strange mentality of machismo in which they own everything and the brute force.
Is there a way for a woman to protect herself in Honduras, or is it impossible? Like you can't leave the house, or even if you're in your house, you got to be worried about your boyfriend or your husband? or a neighbor?
It's difficult because it's ingrained in the culture that the woman believes that this is normal behavior. And that's one of the other reasons why they don't report, because it's normal. The man, he's my husband, I have to. I'll give you an example of a case. This American called me because there was a woman in her church, and the woman had been married to her husband and had 2 children for 4 years. He would not let her leave the house unless he knew where she was going. He made her wear what he decided. He didn't allow her to have contact with family members. He beat her. He psychologically abused her, and he raped her. And he would watch pornography and make her perform what he saw in pornography. She went to her pastor and his wife for help. And the pastor and his wife told her that her job was to endure his violence and pray for him that God would change him. That's the type of attitude there is here.
Wow. Now, what happened to this woman?
The American and I, we found that we had a 90-minute window to snatch her out. The woman was 3 hours from me. And so she took a taxi to meet the American at a location, who then drove her through the mountains to the Capitol, and I grabbed the woman from her there. And we went through court, and the woman eventually went home. She won her court case. However, the church and the neighbors and his family continued bothering her. She had nowhere to go, and she actually ended up in one of the caravans, and she's currently in the United States seeking asylum.
All right, so tomorrow we're going to hear the second half of my discussion with Gracie. We'll hear about her book and what she believes needs to happen in Honduras and other Central American countries in order to curb the wave of migrants fleeing to the southern U.S. border seeking asylum. All right, 9 immigration questions, 50 seconds. We're on a roll.
We are.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
Can I travel outside the U.S. with asylum?
With a, no, not with a pending asylum, but with an approved asylum and a refugee travel document.
Can I sign on behalf of the applicant if I'm applying for them?
No.
Can an employer apply for EB3 while in F1 status?
Prospectively.
Can I file for I-485 immediately after an I-130? Approval?
If you're in status or eligible to adjust, yes.
Do I need to be vaccinated for a K-1 visa?
No.
Can I have U.S. green card and also be a Canadian permanent resident?
No.
Can a college student get a B2 visa?
Yes, you can change to a B2 visa.
If I won H-1B, how long will it take to get my green card?
You need to get sponsored for a green card. It has nothing to do with H-1B.
Is advanced parole only for emergency travel?
No.
Yo, you.
Look how calm I was.
I wasn't.
Look how calm I was. I turned to the camera and I'm like, no. 1 second.
You gave a little too much. You know what I mean? You gave some answers with a little too many words.
I did. Let me tell you one thing. Vogue. I don't know. What am I doing here? Am I doing new TikToks? What am I doing? So, I just want to say one thing. There was one question that Vanessa asked that you said, can I file an adjustment after an approved I-130? And I said, yes, if you're in status. And I needed to also have said, if you're I don't know who sponsored you. I could have went in forever, but what's the priority date? What category are you in? Are you qualified to adjust? So,
Right.
I needed a little more explanation on that.
It's all good.
All good. Comments of the day.
All right. Our first comment of the day comes from Javel Finnegan saying, happy Monday. Hope y'all had a great weekend. And it's that time of day where we sit and watch our nightly show with the Brad Crew Squad.
Yes. Super Squad.
Yes, the Super Squad.
Super Squad.
Super Squad.
Okay, next one. God is merciful saying, just wanted to let you know that after 9 months, I finally received my EAD, which came through marriage. I am so thankful. Here waiting for my interview to be scheduled in New Jersey, thankfully.
Congratulations. And you know what they say, God is merciful.
God is merciful.
Yeah,
I like
so
that name.
congratulations.
I do.
Yes.
All right, our third one comes from Abdel Alamir saying, "This is my first time on the show. Welcome."
Welcome,
Yes.
Adele. Welcome.
And it says, "I really want to say thanks a lot for giving me the chance to ask my question."
All right, very nice.
Always welcome.
Did we spoke to him on the phone? I think so.
Possibly.
Possibly.
But listen, you're always
Okay.
welcome.
You're welcome anyway.
And our last comment of the day, coming from Joanne Erica saying, "Brad, you are already blessed. You are super gifted to help people."
Oh, thank you very
Nice.
much. All right, Tuesday tea tomorrow.
Yeah.
What kind of tea we gonna have?
You got to tune in to find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I was like tongue-tied there for a second. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?